Time for a sad boy update. So guess who slipped out of his cast yet again? This little rascal. And he did it in the most dramatic way ever. So just watch. I walked into the room, so he walked over to see me, and then he flipped upside down, picked it off, boom, there it goes. When that happened, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I have a whole collection of cat casts at this point, which is kind of weird that I still have these. I should throw these away. So yeah, I called the vet and I was like, guess what happened for the third time? And I had to drive my butt down there, but luckily they were like, he actually doesn't need a cast anymore, so we'll go cast free from this point. And I was like, thank God. And then a few days later they did x-rays just to check on how things were healing, and everything is healing great, which is good news. He's not fully out of the woods yet though, so that's why he's still in his little pen. But they do want him to start using his leg more, so they told me to let him out for, you know, short periods of time, to let him kind of walk around and stuff, but to make sure that he still isn't jumping or anything crazy like that. So we got to keep doing that for the next couple weeks. At the end of the month, he gets rechecks on the x-rays. And I'm hoping if everything's good for those next x-rays, we're done. We don't have to keep going back to the vet, and he can actually start using his leg fully and stuff again. But I don't know. I know this is a long healing process. I knew that going in, but we're coming up on, you know, it's been over a month, so we're getting there. But yeah, that's it for now. Just trying to keep him out of trouble, which is hard. He's a sweet cat, but he is sneaky. He's the sneakiest cat I've ever dealt with in my life. But that's it for now. Right, sad boy? That's where you were supposed to meow. Okay, well, you're not becoming a cat until I say then. Hey, just a heads up, all those are on sale. Okay, thanks. Oh, I just remembered that I wanted to try that new product on you. Let me go grab it from the back, okay? Okay. These aren't thinning shears? Hi, I'm Sarah. I'll be your hairdresser today. Go ahead and have a seat. Great, thank you. Oh, actually, I need the chair exactly where it's at. Excuse me. Are you trying to kiss yourself in the mirror, or? I think it needs a little hairspray. Okay, let me grab some. No, you're not doing it right. That's not hairspray, okay. This stuff smells horrible. I bet it does. I never know if I should include beauty school or not when people ask this question. Because technically I was doing hair in beauty school, I just wasn't getting paid for it. So I went to beauty school 8 years ago, that's insane. But as far as being licensed, I have been licensed for almost 6 years. Next month will be 6 years. I got my first job at a salon about a month after I got licensed. So yeah, that's how long I've been in the industry. Okay, so this is like the #1 question that I get asked the most out of any other question. And the answer is Amazon and eBay. So this is my collection. This one's missing the bow. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in my room. I'll find it one of these days. But these bottom 2 were from Amazon, and these top 3 were from eBay. All you have to do is look up like Hello Kitty glasses, and you should be able to find them. And they usually come with clear lenses, but I just push them out. So unfortunately, endometriosis is forever. You can always get surgery to get it removed, but there's no cure, and it can always just grow back. It'll all depend on like what stage you have and all that jazz. But endometriosis can grow. That's what makes it like so tricky, is it can grow to other body parts and just cause damage. And even if you take away like the uterus, the ovaries and all that, it can still grow on its own. It sucks. So a hysterectomy is the removal of your uterus. The uterus is where you grow a baby, and it's also where the lining sheds for your period each month. So now that my uterus is gone, I can no longer have children, and I will no longer have periods. I also had my left ovary removed, my cervix removed, and my fallopian tubes removed. It's a pretty big surgery. I got the surgery because I have endometriosis and PMDD. I was in pain the majority of the month, and only had about 10 good days each month. A hysterectomy is not the cure for endometriosis, but I know my body, and I knew I'd be in less pain if I didn't have a period anymore. Also, I've never wanted kids. No, I do not. And I had a hysterectomy a couple months ago, so I never will. Thank God. Okay, so I get a lot of questions about hair advice, and I just want to say that it's hard for me to know without seeing your hair in person and without talking to you to get more details, like what kind of water you use, what kind of products you use. So I'll just talk about general things when it comes to oily hair. First off, I would want to ask how often you're washing your hair. Sometimes what happens if you're washing it every day is you're stripping all the natural oils, so your scalp starts to produce more to make up for what's being taken away. I know everybody hates hearing this, but I actually was able to trade my hair to go longer without washing. With that being said, your lifestyle might stop you from doing that. Like me, since living in Florida, I just sweat all the time, so I do wash my hair pretty often. But I also notice it gets oily more often since I'm washing it more. The next best thing I recommend is dry shampoo. I love it so much. That's a really quick fix if you don't have time to wash it. Now you mentioned using tea tree. So tea tree can go one of two ways. It either makes your hair better or makes your hair worse. It just depends on the person. So if you've been using it for a while, I would try something else. Also, when using conditioner, only put it on your ends. And try blow drying your roots if you usually air dry. Yes, there are salons that are specifically dedicated to removing lice. I was following one on Facebook for a while, actually, and I learned a lot of information from them. I don't know how popular they are. They might only be in like bigger cities. I don't know. And I also don't know what the qualifications to work for one are. I don't know if you have to be a hairstylist and something else or just hairstylist. I don't know, but I know they exist. Some are at the salon, some come to your house. They are not cheap, however, might be worth it if you have a really bad case. Okay, so I'm assuming you mean that the hair down here just keeps fading. So there's a lot of reasons for this. First of all, if you have a hair color that is not a natural hair color, it's more likely to fade. I'm talking reds, blues, silver, violet. Those colors can't get into the hair strand the same way other colors can, so they fade faster. Also, heat is a death sentence for hair color. Hot water or using hot tools all the time will strip your color faster. When I had like bright red Ariel hair, I was constantly taking cold showers because cold water helps keep the color in more. Also, if your hair is super damaged, color's not going to hold as well. So essentially what you want to do is try to close your cuticle down. That means rinsing with cold water, using like treatments or conditioners to help close it down, or trying to wash your hair less. Because every time you touch water to your hair, it's going to cause it to fade. Every time I take a shower, red comes out. Also, if your hair was like a lighter color before you put your current color on, that could be another reason it's fading, especially if the hair wasn't filled. So I didn't actually fix it because she only wanted a haircut, but this was by far the craziest hair I've ever seen, and even if she did ask me to fix it, I would have denied it because I don't like doing color corrections. So this was, I don't know how she did it. She had 5 different bands of colors in her hair, and they were ranging from blonde to black. So like her roots were her natural color, which were like a light brown. And then right here, she had like a dark brown band. Down here, she had like a blonde band. Here was like orange. And from here down was black. I have no idea how she managed to do that. And I'm kind of impressed, but it looked horrible. And then she tried to ask me how she could fix it because I worked right next door to a Sally's. So she was like, what can I buy from Sally's to fix this? And I was like, black. That's it. She was like, oh, but I want to do like a red or a brown. And I was like, well, unless you want to pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars, the only color you can end up with is black. Recovery has finally taken a turn for the better. Finally. Obviously, I'm not 100% healed, but like the pain's gotten better. My body is just starting to feel normal again. I say that now, but tomorrow I might wake up and feel horrible, so who knows? But like for instance, I put my belly button ring back in. That's a lot of bees to try to stumble over. I put it back in, and when I first put it back in, my belly button was not happy. But that's starting to act normal. The scars look good. The only thing that's still like really hard is not sleeping on my back. I hate sleeping on my back. I always sleep on my stomach, but I can't do it yet. My bowels aren't 100% back to normal, but I don't have to rely on laxatives anymore, so there's that. And today was the first time I was able to wear shorts for longer than like 30 seconds without ripping them off, so there's that. Overall, it's going good for now. We'll see. Is everything all right?
It's been 15 minutes and she's still not done. Why is an eyebrow wax taking so long?
Oh, Sarah finished the eyebrow wax about 10 minutes ago, but then Edna decided she wanted a perm as well.
So why doesn't somebody else do the perm so that Sarah can leave?
Because she's already in Sarah's chair and Edna is in her late 80s.
She's not all there, and if we put her with somebody else suddenly, she might get confused. I'm sure Edna will be fine, but I won't, because if Sarah and I don't leave right now, we're gonna miss part of the concert. Well, it's not very professional to leave your client in the middle of the service, so you guys are just gonna have to miss some of it. Or she can leave now, because she wasn't even scheduled to work today in the first place. But you suckered her in because you know she has a hard time saying no, and you like to take advantage of that. What a false accusation. Oh, but it's not false. You are always asking her to come in early, leave late, and cover for others. Which is a bit hypocritical, seeing as how you always leave early, you always come late, and you constantly call out. Oh, really? Is that what Sarah's been telling you? No. I know from firsthand experience. From the moment I walked in here, I knew you looked familiar, but I couldn't place just where I knew you from until about 2 minutes ago. You and I used to work together. When? Bobby's Diner, about 10 years ago. We were both waitresses. And you got fired because you were never at work. That's not true. I didn't get fired. I quit. And the reason I left is because that place sucked and management was awful. Wow, your memory must not be that great anymore, because you've seemed to forgot that I am Bobby's daughter. And I vividly remember him firing you. Cameron Phillips. Ah, so you do remember me. Unfortunately. This is all suddenly making so much sense why Sarah can never get away from this job. She has a lazy boss who wants everybody else to do the work for her. Oh, you mean like your father? My father was a great businessman and a great manager. Then why did his restaurant go out of business? Listen, you can dislike me all you want, and you can throw a little fit all you want, but Sarah is not leaving until she's done with Edna, because I told her she can't. And she will listen to me over you. I'm her best friend, and I'm her boss. So either you leave without her, or you wait it out and miss some of the concert. Your choice. Just as I thought. You are always asking her to come. You are always asking her to come in early, leave late. I can't get this right for my life. Is that what Sarah's been telling? All right. And you got fired because you could never make it.